Hello everyone! Recently CIG is talking about 1.0 quite a bit. And of course the shale channels are talking about 1.0 too, because they don't care about Star Citizen. The shales only care about making money and getting free ships from CIG. I saw this Spectrum posting 2 days ago and I had to reply. This Spectrum thread started by Mick11 2 days ago, so talk about 1.0 needs to stop. Fellow citizens, 1.0 is years off, there's zero wrong with this. That doesn't mean I want to be hyped about it. At CitizenCon, when the released 1.0 most likely won't match whatever long-form pre-rendered video CIG is cooking about it at CitizenCon this year. The talk about 1.0 shouldn't happen until Squadron 42 is out and we are no longer on the road to 4.0. I don't want to see a long-term future prognostications about 1.0 at CitizenCon. Once we are all happily traveling through wormholes from Pyro to Stanton and vice versa, I will happily watch a pre-rendered look at what Chris wants 1.0 to be, not before 4.0 though. When I saw this, I had to write a reply. I am kinda surprised that I didn't get banned again and that CIG didn't delete my reply. I wrote, I have no idea why CIG is talking about 1.0 recently. If CIG release a Star Citizen 1.0 in the next 5 years, it will be a disaster. It will get destroyed in hundreds of videos and articles, plus 11 years and plus $700 million for that. Where did the money go? Remember, for example, Redfall? People made fun about Redfall, rightfully so. And then I made a short list. Star Citizen in year 12 is still a bad tech demo at best. Yeah, we have a few things that are okay. We have a lot of things that need work. We have a lot of things that are in a very sorry state. And we are still missing a lot of things. There's no cohesion. We are still missing basics, basic mechanics, some very basic physics. No one expects perfect physics. No one expects physics like in Kerbal. But what we have is really, really terrible. It looks very amateurish. CIG chose lowest effort tier 0 first iterations into the game and never works on them, never improves them, for example refueling, high munching, cargo handling. Where are the machines and NPCs Chris and Tony Subovac talked about 7 years ago? Trolleys, armor, etc. Or for example Animus missile launcher introduced in 3.8, you can be happy if one of your 3 missiles actually hits anything, and never improved, never worked on. We are getting one low effort rework after the other. See recently Retaliator. Retaliator rework was postponed again and again, and now we got the minimum lowest effort CIG could get away with. There are empty rooms, empty spaces in Retaliator. It looks like an intern worked on it for like 2 hours. Star Citizen had one of the worst UIs in history of gaming, and now in 3.23 we got the Iron Man UI, which is even worse. If someone would have told me the new UI is even worse than the old UI, I would not have believed him. But here CIG succeeded. We got the arcadey, gamey, no fun master modes in 3.23, something Chris said he would never do. In this link, Chris was talking about a flight model in 2014, and he especially mentioned that he doesn't want a Wing Commander or X-Wing style flight model, which we have now with the gamey console mode, aka master mode. We have lots of lag, low FPS and massive desync issues with just 100 players on a server. Yeah, I know, server meshing will fix it. I believe in server meshing when I see it working in-game with minimum lag and desyncs. There was another server meshing test recently and it didn't exactly go well. CIG hasn't even finished the flight model and ship combat in year 12. This is really bad, and now master modes is a new thing, and master modes is just terrible, no fun. We have boring and repetitive missions, for example every bunker looks the same, NPCs are in the same spots. It doesn't matter on what moon or planet you are doing your bunker mission, it's always the same layout. CIG doesn't even have like 10, 15 different layouts. Even a low-budget game, like for example 7 Days to Die, has hundreds of points of interest. Star Citizen has so much opportunity. We have aliens, for crying out loud. Where are the aliens, Chris? I don't always only want to fight other humans. Give us aliens to fight. There could be so many interesting missions, so much opportunity. You could fight alien fauna, dangerous fauna. I totally don't understand how you can have so many interesting things but still only give us the most boring stuff. We have tedious time sinks on top of tedious time sinks. 30 minutes preparation and flying to do a 3-minute mission. Star Citizen is a space game. I don't expect to be everywhere in a split second, and I don't want to, but the time sinks we already have are terrible and it's getting much worse. CIG is using an old and obsolete engine with massive LED and culling issues, and no, calling it Star Engine doesn't change the fundamentals of CryEngine. I don't know how to solve this. If CIG would right now change to a modern engine, this would take at least another 3 to 4 extra years. But staying with CryEngine might not be the best idea. Yeah, I have no idea how to solve this. My guess is, if Star Citizen and Squadron 42 would have been released in November 2014, yes, November 2014 was the first date, then this would be okay. Now in 2024, this looks totally outdated and a nightmare to work with such an old engine. We have survival mechanics in a space game that are way overdone, like dying of thirst in 3 hours. We can't even eat or drink with a helmet on, something NASA figured out 60 years ago. Putting things into the game to give you the impression of, oh, there's something to do, there's something to take care of. I want to have good gameplay. And if I have to drink and eat occasionally, that's fine, but don't let our characters die in 3 hours. We will get personal hygiene, toilet gameplay and permadeath. I shower at least once per day. If our characters would have to shower once in 24 hours, it would be pointless, so CIG will way overdo it like they are doing with hunger and thirst. My guess is our characters have to shower every 1 to 2 hours. We have 1 out of 100 star systems in year 12. If CIG releases a 1.0 in the next 5 years, it will have 5 to 10 star systems at max. I want Star Citizen to become a huge success and a fantastic game, but CIG talking about 1.0 now is just sad. And here we have GameDev288. He claims to have worked for Star Citizen, and this was posted on Star Citizen Refunds, so take this with a huge grain of salt. The call for 1.0 truly is a last stand in panic mode, thinking, oh shit, we need to release a game. A little bit like what happened with Skull and Bones, but even worse. And you're right, there's not enough talent to complete 1.0. It's impossible to release a working 1.0 for 2025. I know the logistics, and there's just absolutely no way, and I'm not even speaking of server meshing. To me, this sounds very believable, but again, I cannot confirm that he really worked for CIG. This is what I and many others say too. Star Citizen is a very ambitious and huge project. I give Chris that. There will always be dead ends and wasted time. I give Chris that. However, the top management of Star Citizen is just terrible, and I mean Chris and Aaron. Chris still has wrong priorities even now in year 12. Eye candy, fluff, time sinks, cool cinematics, but Chris still totally neglects basic mechanics, some very basic physics. I just don't know why Chris by now still doesn't realize he cannot manage such a huge and ambitious project. Chris can still be the spokesperson, it can still be Chris' vision, but Chris needs to hire someone who can manage this. I fear it's already too late. CIG is talking about 1.0 now, like someone who is whistling in the dark, hoping for the best. I would give all of you the advice not to buy any more ships until we see real progress. I spent a lot of money on Star Citizen, I was stupid, but I hope I learned a lesson. With Chris making the decisions, the best we can hope for is a mediocre game in 5 to 10 years, with only a few star systems, still buggy, laggy, and not much fun. Let me know what you think in the comments below and see you next time. Bye, auf Wiedersehen. Hey, you're still here. You might want to join me on Twitter. My Twitter account is Camural_SC.